Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Realm of Ori. In this video, we will continue with Volume 15, Chapter 1, Time of Despair, Part 3. And before we start, this video contains spoilers from the Tensura Light Novel. And by the way guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to get notifications for upcoming videos. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Kondo could see through Hakuro's strength at a glance. The next moment, a fierce clash of clear sounds sounded between the steel, and Kondo unleashed a divinely fast Kiri chop, which Hakuro took with his hidden sword. Tease? Can you catch that? The third eye, or sky eye, on Hakuro's forehead opened its eyes. This skill had now broken through the realm of special skills and was about to go beyond the realm of unique skills. That's why he was able to cope with Kondo's battling. It's not a miracle that my grandfather is the same as that grandfather, but it's a miracle. Kid, if you think I'm a magical creature, how much do you understand the true essence of the sword? Then see for yourself. Oh, funny. Now that you've said that, I'll teach you how much you can afford. And just like that, under the watchful eyes of Gazel, Kondo and Hakuro began to battle it out. However, the fact that the so-called magical creature did not understand the nature of the sword was indisputable to Kondo. A sword skill that could be considered a natural enemy to a magical creature, one that was impossible to learn in the form of a magical creature, it was only natural that Kondo would think so. It's a bit beyond imagination to be able to use even the mystical arts, but none of the skills above the secret arts are passed on except for the bloodline of the family. I don't know how capable that so-called otherworlder is, but it's impossible to pass on the secret mysteries to magical creatures. As Hakuro and Kondo faced each other and stepped into the must-kill distance, the two of them simultaneously used their aura. Plum Blossom, Wawatu. Yahashij Cherry Blossoms. Between Kondo and Hakuro, the difference in fighting ability was huge, even though the skills were comparable. According to Hakuro's judgment, Kondo's physical abilities were at least tens of times greater than Hakuro's. So, if this sword move didn't work, it was basically a judgment that Hakuro had lost the battle. Hiding this realization in his heart, Hakuro drew his sword and cut it out. Kondo scored a landslide victory. Hakuro was going to give Kondo a death blow even though he was going to die together. But in the end, the results obtained were not what either had in mind. I didn't think there was a swordsman in this world who was above me. The fact that Hakuro's 8-Wa Flash was an even more advanced sword skill than Kondo's 5-Wa Tan shattered Kondo's perception all along and had to admit that he was wrong. However, it was Kondo who got the victory. Even the strongest of the powers will not reach you. No, that's enough. I'm sorry for looking down on you, but I'd like to ask you your grandfather's name, too. Funny, my grandfather's name was Araki Byakuya, and he was a great swordsman, but he was already in the ground. Unfortunately, Araki is the name of my family. Perhaps he is related to the master of the Mizushin lifestream, and if he can at least reach the level of an immortal, he will be one of the most powerful in the world. Grandfather was a strange man and thought it was good to live naturally. Can you guys just pull back on this? I will guarantee your personal safety, but the war cannot be stopped. In my proposition, halfway through is the least desirable. I've already predicted that I'll lose, so it's impossible for these hands to return to combat, but the goal has been achieved. That's right, Hakuro's goal wasn't to gain victory, but to show Gazel the battle between himself and Kondo. If it was the Sword Saint Gazel Dwargon, one should be able to understand it just by looking at Hakuro's Aoyi. Although it couldn't be learned immediately, one could certainly gain some inspiration. That's what Hakuro thought. Then I will stop here, for I do not wish to be disgraced in this way. In the last days, I intend to take as many enemy troops as possible with me. It's just that it's not time yet, so let's focus on healing these hands now. The destruction of the object through the infiltration of the fighting chi was the ultimate meaning of the chi fighting method, and Kondo's fighting chi broke through the Hakuro's defenses, so Hakuris had no other choice but to neutralize the treatment through his own demonic chi. However, Hakuro still looked at Gazel with a bland expression. Alright, King Gazel, have you calmed down? Of course, I'm excited to see my master's sword skills. I don't want to teach it, but I can't say it now, so I'll leave it to you. Leave it to me. After Hakuro stepped back, Gazel stepped in front of Kondo. On the other hand, Hakuro was out of the fray with his head held high as if he had completed his task. Again, Kondo clinches up with Gazel. I've lost my cool a little bit, play is over, I'm back to work now. Although it was not the intention, I also shared it. I must repay my master's expectations. Let me do my best. Whether it was Kondo or Gazel, it was different from what it was before. Kondo's secret mystery, the Wawatu, was impossible to defend against at first sight. Even if one could miraculously avoid a fatal injury, the inside of the body would definitely be as injured by the fighting chi as Hakuro and become unable to fight. It's amazing that a refined fighting chi could have such a threat. I know it's the ultimate meaning of chi dujutsu, but it seems I don't really understand what it's about. Kondo. Feel the full power of myself. The genie calls. Come, nameless Earth Spirit King. Ridiculous. The huge energy that had been generated after the sameness with the Earth Spirit King had now been perfectly harnessed by Gazel, a feeling that had not been there for a long time. He's worthy of being a master, and it made me realize the ultimate meaning. I can win, and if I were me now, I'd be able to reach even greater heights. The sword that no one could beat, with such aura, Gazel moved. Godspeed slam. However, it failed to run into Kondo. A small sound rang out and Gazel bent his knees. Gazel spat blood out of his mouth and looked dumbfounded at the blood coming out of his abdomen. Kondo's right hand held a large Southern-style automatic pistol, the muzzle of which was still smoking, from which the murderous bullet that had defeated Gazel had been fired. You are an honorable swordsman. Like I said, play is over. There's no need for glory on the battlefield. My job is to do whatever it takes to win. How could I end up like this? Gazel tried desperately to get up, but the body was no longer obedient and could only fall to the ground again. Give up your futile efforts. I have no intention of killing His Majesty Gazel, but I'll let you go when it's over, even though I'll bind you now. Before letting him go, he was going to use the domination spell bomb to dominate him. Now Kigali was at the helm, and for Gazel, too, he was intended to be captured alive. Terrible coldness and reasonableness, which is also in the bones of Tatsuya Kondo as a man. Hakuro couldn't act now. Witnessing Kondo's formidable strength, he could only stand resignedly. From this moment on, Kondo has basically determined victory.